It's time for you to get up. You will win. It's time for you to reactivate your finances, your health. Are you ready to get your life? Well, this is your moment. Ready to get your life back on track? Get up. What are you doing? It's your time to reactivate.
What's going on, everybody? Listen, I apologize. I was having a little technical difficulties at the moment, but I'm back. We're back now. Welcome to Reactivate the Moment. I am your boy Marques Ford, and it is 8 p.m. on Monday night, and that can only mean one thing. It only means that it is time to reactivate. Listen, I have a great topic for us tonight. Man, I think a lot of people will get will get motivated by this. I think a lot of people will find clearance by this. I'll say that much. If you'll find clearance, because this topic tonight that I want to discuss, it simply just talks about what we do as people when it comes to adding others to our lives, others to our lives. And it simply says this: stop adding people to your life with the same characteristics as the people you've asked God to remove. I'm going to say it again. Stop adding people in your life with the same characteristics as the people that you've added God to remove. I need everybody to understand me clearly that today is the day that we are going to rehash. Today is the day that we are going to get things right. Today is the day that we are going to change our perspective, change our trajectory. We are going to change the way we view others in our lives. We're going to change it because we're trying to make sure that we are not having the same cycle over and over again. We're trying to make sure that we're not having the same cycle over and over again. What I want to do, I want to help somebody. I want to encourage somebody. I want to push somebody to be great. I want to push somebody to be great and to not add the people with the same characteristics. We tend to throw out that word characteristics because we try to get an idea. We try to get a grip on certain people and why we choose them, why we cause them to be a part of our lives, why we cause them to to not only be a part of our lives, but why we cause them to be a part of our process, to be a part of our growing up, to be a part of our going out, to be a part of our development, to be a part of the things that we try to use to navigate our lives, to navigate the way we move, to navigate the way we shake, to navigate throughout our life, how we maneuver, how we go about our lives. And what we have to do, we have to understand that in order for us to be great, in order for us to make a change, in order for us to change our outlook, we have to change the people around us. And what we do is we tend to make certain decisions. We tend to make certain things about ourselves. We tend to cause those things to not only cause us to make bad decisions, but it causes us it causes us to be able to make a better outlook on who we have around us. But what we do is we tend to look at people and try to see if they are like-minded. We try to see if they think like us. We're trying to see if they move like us. We're trying to see if they react the way we do. We're trying to see whether or not they respond the way we do. But what we end up doing is, and in that same tone, in that same instance, what we end up doing is we end up attracting certain people. See, we all have a list. We all have a list of who we want to attract. We all have a list of who we want to be with us. When you think about your mate, when you think about your soulmate, when you think about somebody you're looking to spend the rest of your life with, when you think about someone you're looking to be in companion with, you start to pick out certain things in your list. You have a certain list. They have to be a certain height. They have to be a certain skin color. They have to have a certain type of intellect. They have to be able to look appealing. They have to be able to have a dialogue, be able to have great conversation, make you laugh, things like that when we think about relationships. But we also use those same characteristics, those same things when we think about friendships as well. We also use certain qualities that someone may have. We use that as a way to gauge who we are going to be with. We use it as a way to gauge who we're going to be around. And characteristic is simply The word characteristic simply means it is a feature or quality belonging typically to a person, place, or thing and serving to identify it. It is a feature or quality belonging to a person, place, or thing. First, we have to understand a characteristic is a feature, and not only is it a feature, but it describes what type of feature that is. It is a feature and it is a quality, meaning that you're not going to surround yourself with people that aren't like you. You're not going to surround yourself with people that aren't going to be as attractive as you. You're not going to surround yourself with people that don't have the same intellect and mindset that you have. In other words, you can't say that you can't say that you're a billionaire or you're a millionaire and you're hanging around broke people, because what that does is that brings about the phrase is an association. There it is. Association brings about assimilation, and what it does is people will categorize you by who you hang around. People will categorize you by who you associate yourself with. If you call yourself to be a leader, then you should not be associating yourself with people that have never led. I'm saying it again. If you've called yourself to be a leader, then you should not hang around, or you should not associate yourself with people that have never ever led in their lives. And what we have to realize is that we tend to hang around. I mean, we tend to attract people that are more than likely like us. We tend to attract. If we're funny, you want to attract people that are funny. If you if you live a certain lifestyle, you attract certain people that live the same lifestyle. If you hang around a certain group of friends, you want to attract people or bring around people in your circle that have that same mindset, that same mentality. But what we have to understand the quality that they bring. We have to realize that the person that you're attracting, the person that you're around, if you have to realize and understand what their quality is. You don't want to have somebody around you that doesn't meet the criteria or the quote unquote characteristics of the qualities that you're looking for. Because what you end up doing is you end up causing them to not only be around you, but you end up causing them to bring you down to a level that you're not used to bring you down to a level that you're not been to bring you down to a level that you're not accustomed to. And what we end up doing, we end up having these conversations and these dialogues, and we end up rethinking, man, maybe I shouldn't have brought them in my circle. Maybe I shouldn't have invited them to my party. Maybe I shouldn't have invited them to my house. Maybe I shouldn't have invited them into my space, into my circle, because now all of a sudden I see my lifestyle changing. I see my mindset changing. I see the way I move changing because of who I'm hanging around. And what you didn't realize that the people that you're hanging around, their spirit or their mindset or who they are is jumping off on you, and you're starting to not figure out, you're starting to not realize your worth anymore. You're starting to not realize who you are anymore. Because at one point in time, you walked around with your head held high. At one point in time, you walked around with your chest stuck out. At one point in time, you walked around with confidence. You walked around with vigor. You walked around with tenacity. But now all of a sudden, you start to see your tenacity change. Now all of a sudden you start to see your confidence go down. Now all of a sudden you start to see your self-esteem go down. You start to lack the confidence that you once had, because you are attracting certain people with certain characteristics. You're attracting them. You're adding them to your life. You're putting them in places that they shouldn't be. You're putting them on pedestals that they don't even deserve to be on. You're putting them in such high places when you don't even realize that what they're doing is, and what they're causing to happen is, they're causing not only your lifestyle to change, but it's causing them to change. How? Because what you once had is starting to push off on them. Once what you once were a part of is starting to be with them and be on them. And you have to understand that we have to get to a place where we begin to realize who we're adding to our circle. We begin to realize who we're adding in our space. We begin to realize who we're adding in our atmosphere, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to have those people with the characteristics of less than to be in my space of more than. You don't want to have those people with the characteristics of mediocre to be in my space of excellence. You don't want those people to be in the characteristic of average to be in my space of stupendous, because you don't want to have, or you don't want to attract the people with the characteristics that you've asked God, that you called on God to remove. You see, what we have to realize, some of us have asked God, Lord, please get rid of these people. Lord, I'm tired. Lord, I'm frustrated. Lord, I'm downtrodden. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to push through, because it seems like every time I pray for you I pray to you to remove somebody. Every time I pray to you to get rid of certain people. Every time I pray to you, God, to take these people away from me. It seemed like 2 or 3 days, or months, or weeks later, I started to see somebody else that resemble and that assume the same posture. They resemble or assume the same characteristics. They resemble or assume the same trait as the person I prayed out of my life. I mean, I could have swore that you said, God, that if I prayed to you, I could have swore that my life would change. But now all of a sudden, I see my life begin to build up. But then as soon as this person walked in my life, my life began to tear down. Why? That's because you have been adding those people. You have been subtracting certain people, and then you've been multiplying. Here it is. You've been multiplying people with the same characteristic back into your life. So now you thought you got rid of one problem. You thought you got rid of one problem. Now you done gained 2 more. You thought you got rid of 2 problems. Now you done gained 4 more, if you get my drift. So what we have to understand and realize is that every time we get into a situation where certain people have the same traits, certain people have the same characteristics, you don't need to add them to your life. You need to check them before they walk into your life. I'm going to say it again. You don't need to add them to your life. You need to check them before they walk in your life. And for you to check them, for you to reassure yourself, all you have to do is say, okay, look, I can't let you further past this. The only place you can go at my front door. You can't cross my threshold, because I got to get a gauge of you. I got to understand who you really are. And we're going to talk about that a little more once we take this commercial break. Give me 1 second.
Hey, it's your girl A Love. Make sure you follow me and Pastor PG, LaShonda Robinson, on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Girl Let's Talk. And let me tell you, it's not your typical church conversation. Make sure you join us on the WIN Network.
Listen, please join my sister on the WIN Network. This is an awesome network to be a part of. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I want to apologize. I'm having technical difficulties on my Facebook page. On my Facebook page, it's not loading. The video is not loading on my Facebook page. If you're viewing this on any of the other pages, I want to thank you for your patience. Thank you for tuning in. But I'm having technical difficulties. But to God be the glory, and we're going to continue on. I'm not going to hold you all much longer. But what we have to realize and understand is that when we ask God to remove certain people from our lives that have the same characteristics, what we have to realize, we have to check the people that are trying to creep in. Because what happens is you pray for them to leave out the front door, but all of a sudden you got another person creeping in through the back. You pray for somebody with low self-esteem, though, you got to get out of my circle because I can't be like you. But all of a sudden low self-esteem is creeping in the back. You said, man, I can't have this confusion. You're confusing me. I can't gauge where you're from. I can't gauge who you are. I can't gauge what you're trying to do. So you may have ulterior motives. So I'm gonna need you to check yourself before you wreck yourself. But you got somebody else creeping through the back door. You've been living a life of lavish. You've been living a life of confidence, but all of a sudden things starting to change and shift, because what you did is you've allowed certain people into certain areas of your life. You've allowed certain people with the same quality. You allow certain people with the same vigor. You allow certain people with the same mindset as you. Remember, a characteristic is a feature or quality belonging typically to a person, place, or thing. It is their feature. It is their quality. We look at a feature on the physical side. A feature, they have certain features that you like. Then they have the quality. But see, what we do is we get attracted so much. Here it is. We get attracted so much to the feature that we don't even realize that they lack the quality. I'm going to say it again. Some of us get so attracted to certain features that we don't even realize that they lack the quality. Okay, let me bring it home just a little closer. You ever got a gift on Christmas? You ever got a gift on your birthday? You see the gift. You see a big giant box with a bow, and it's wrapped up all nice. It's wrapped up all nice and clean, and you like it, and it looks good, but you have no idea what's on the inside. You have no idea what's underneath that package, but the package looks real good. The package, whoever wrapped that package wrapped it real nice. Whoever put that bow on it, they put their best foot forward in their bow. And so the feature looks good because you're enticed. Here it is. You're enticed by the size of the box. So you automatically assume that because of the size of the box, that something has to be big on the inside of that box. Because of the box size, something has to be big. When you think about something big, you dream about certain things you wanted. Maybe a TV, maybe a computer, or maybe some kind of electronic device, some kind of thing you've been putting on your Amazon Prime list, some something you've been putting on your wish list or whatever other site you use, and you say, oh, this must be it. They must have thought of me. They must have thought about me when they got this box. And then some of us we have little small boxes, and you assume one or two things. You assume, I don't know, this box may be a little small. This box may be a little small. I don't think it's something in it, but then you start to realize, well, what's small that can come into a box? Oh, it can be a key to a car, or it can be an engagement ring, it can be a necklace, some type of jewelry. So we tend to look at the feature, the outside of the box. Okay, so the box is good. Okay, I like what's on the outside of the box, but then you take off the wrapping, you take off the bow, and then you look on the inside, and there's nothing in there. But then you say, man, where did I go wrong? I mean, the wrapping was pretty. It had all the little features on it. It had all the little bows and everything on it. My name was spelled nice too. Marques from whoever to so and so from so and so. But then when I opened up the box, what I wanted or what I thought was in the box isn't there. Why? Because you began to get attracted to the feature. You began to get attracted to what's on the outside. You began to be attracted to what's on the outside of the box that you didn't even consider or think about the quality that's on the inside the box. See, our problem is as people that we are too attracted on the outside that we don't even look at what's on the inside, because guess what? We're looking at the wrong characteristics, because we've asked and we've petitioned God, say, God, please release this person from me because they don't look good. Please release this person from me because they don't have the right build that I like. Please release this person from me because they don't smell the way I like them to smell. Please release this person from me because they aren't groomed the way I want them to be groomed, the way I would like for them to be groomed. Lord, please get rid of this person from me because God, they don't dress the way I would like for somebody to dress. So we look at the outward, we look at the outside, and we tend to say, man, they can't be for me, because guess what, man, they lack everything I need. They lack everything that I want in a person. They lack everything I want in a friend. They lack everything I want in a companion. But then when we look at it, remember, characteristic is a feature or a quality. Then we look at the quality. See, some of us are so caught up in the quality that we don't even think about the feature. Some of us are so caught up in what the person can offer and what the person can bring to us. Some of us are so caught up in what the person can deliver to us. They're caught up in the fact that this person can deliver this person can deliver that, and that they're not even worried about the features. They're not even worried about how they look. They're not even worried about the aesthetics of what it is. All they're worried about is what it can do. For example, a telephone. A lot of us have want to get the latest gadget. We want to get the latest thing. We look at the color of the phone. We look at what the phone brings, what the phone looks like, what the phone can bring. See, a lot of us, when we go to the stores and we get the iPhones, we get the Google phones, whatever the hottest phone is out, we automatically look at what it does. We don't look at the inside. Nobody in that I know of that can tell me out of their mouth has ever been accustomed to or has ever been caught up in what the inside part of the iPhone, the workings of what the iPhone does, the workings of what the Google phone does. All we want to know is how much storage does it have and what kind of pictures does it take. We don't really try to dwell too much on what it can do. You know, we know it can call a phone, it can text a phone, it can have certain apps or whatever, but then we have to look for certain apps to add to it. But we don't look at how many pixels. We don't really care about we don't even care about how the runnings of the phone, what it takes for it to charge, what it takes for it to download data. We don't worry about that. We just want the phone to do what it needs for us to do. We just want the phone to do what it calls for us to do. A lot of us, the same thing. A lot of us can go out and get a car, and all we're worried about, we don't care about the color too much. We don't care about how big the wheels are. We don't care about the aesthetics of the outside. We want to know, does it have Bluetooth? What happens on the inside when I sit down? Do I feel good in the seat? Is the seat good quality? Is the electronic part of it good quality? Will it keep me safe? If I ride in, and do I hear any outside noise? If I'm riding, do I get air conditioning? We want to know about those things. So those are the quality of a thing. Those are the quality of a person, place, of a thing. And what we do here it is. What we do is, whenever somebody doesn't have a certain feature, whenever somebody doesn't have a certain quality, we tend to dummy down ourselves to meet them where they lack. We tend to dummy down ourselves to meet them where they're like. If they don't lack if they lack the features on the outside, they lack the looks, then we tend to try to get them a makeover. We tend to try to put weave in their hair for the ladies. We for the guys, the ladies try to get us to work out a little more. They try to get us to get a certain type of hairstyle. They try to get us to have a certain type of build. They try to get us to dress a certain way. You know, you were used to wearing your baggy shorts and your baggy pants and gym shorts and just chilling, but now she wants you to be in a suit and tie. Fellas, you were used to her wearing dresses that didn't reveal herself too much, but now that she got with you, you want her to show a little bit of her shape, because you know she looked good when she with you, you know, and everything like that. So we tend to change the feature. And then the other ones, other of you out there that have people that meet the quality part, but that meet the quality part, I mean the feature part, but lack the quality. Now all of a sudden you say, okay, yeah, she looked good, but she is dumb as a doornail. Oh yeah, he looked good, but something about him just ain't right. I mean, he looked good, but he can't fix my car. He looked good, but he can fix my house. He can't fix things going on in my house. Yeah, she may look good, but she can't cook. She may look good, but something, you know, all she want to do is spend money. So we tend to add those things that they lack, and what we end up doing is, once we add them, then we try to fix and put them together like some Play-Doh or like some Legos or something, and try to build us a robot. We try to build us a companion, when all you have to do, here it is, all you have to do is pay attention to the characteristics before they get into your door. Pay attention to what people offer you. Pay attention to what people bring to you. Pay attention to what people show you, because what they do is, if they show you in the beginning who they are, if they show you in the beginning what they do, if they show you in the beginning how they think, then Maya Angelou said it best, you need to believe them. And what we try to change and mold people into who they are. We try to change and mold people into what we want them to be. We try to change and mold people into what we need them to be, until the point where we get tired of changing, we get tired of molding, we get tired of shaping, and we ask God, Lord, you know, I'm done with this person. Can you remove this out of my life? Bring me on to the next one. You know, bring me on to the next man. Bring me on to the next woman. Bring me on to the next friendship. Bring me on to the next relationship, because I am tired of this. And what ends up happening is, because here it is, I'm gonna help somebody tonight. What ends up happening is, because you haven't dealt with yourself first, you're going to continue to attract the same people over and over again. I'm gonna say it again. Because you have not dealt with yourself first, because you have not checked yourself first, because you have not looked in the mirror first, because you have not had a talk with yourself first, what's going to happen is, you're going to keep attracting the same people with the same features, with the same qualities that you just had removed from your life. And you're sitting there wondering, man, why I keep getting the same person? Why I don't want this? Why I keep attracting this person? I don't want to be around it. I could have sworn I got rid of you. Or then you start, here it is, there's another part. Then you start doing this. Then you start blaming them. Once you get the next person, you start blaming them for how they treat you. But here it is. I'm gonna help somebody out tonight. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful how you treat yourself. Be careful how you treat yourself, because what you're doing is, you're showing people how they need to treat you. So be careful how you treat yourself. You're wondering why you're attracting the same people, because you don't know how to treat yourself. You're wondering why you keep bringing in the same type, or you keep going through the same cycle, because you don't know how to love yourself. You don't know how to appreciate yourself. You don't know how to adore yourself. You don't know how to put yourself on a pedestal. You don't know how to make yourself smile. You don't know how to make yourself feel wanted. You don't know how to make yourself feel good. And until you're able to do that, until you're able to show, to realize who you are, until you're able to realize that what you bring to the table, until you're able to realize that you're beautiful not only on the outside, but you also have great qualities on the inside, until you realize that, guess what, you're going to go into the same cycle of the characteristic. I call it the characteristic cycle. It's the CC. Here it is. You're going to go through the same CC, the characteristic cycle, meaning that the same people are going to keep coming in and out of your life. And what they're going to do is, here it is. What they're going to do is, when they come into your life, they're going to take a piece away from you, and they're going to walk out of the door with the piece that you lack. With the piece that you once had, and now you lack it. They're going to keep coming in and taking pieces of you, piece by piece, and they're going to tear you down. Piece by piece, they're going to rip you apart, piece by piece, until you say to yourself, enough is enough. I can no longer allow people to come. Here it is. Here's your message for you tonight. You can no longer allow people to come into your life and put you in places, and put you in a situation, and put you in a mindset that you don't even realize the worth that you have. You don't even realize the value that you possess. You don't even realize who you are, because you've continued. Here it is. You've continued to allow them to take away from you. you. But today is the day that you will no longer subtract, but today is the day that you will add only people that can bring to you, that can bring things into your life of the things that you lack, things that you pray for, things that you look for, because you're now figured out. You figured out tonight that you won't allow anybody else to walk into your house, to walk into your life, bringing the same nonsense that you dealt with before, because tonight is the night that you're going to say, enough is enough. You're tired of running. You're tired of dealing with it. You're tired of being average. You're tired of being basic. You're tired of doing all this, and you're now empowered enough to say, you know what? No longer will I allow you to come in and take from me what I once had. You can't allow anybody else to come into your life and take away from you your value, your virtue, your integrity, your self-esteem, who you are as an individual, and who you not only as an individual, but who you are to your community. You cannot allow it to happen any longer. You cannot. You cannot continue to add people into your life if they're not only here. Not only are they adding quality. I mean, not only are they adding the aesthetics of what you need, but they have to add the quality too. So they can't come with one or the other. They got to come with both. They got to come with great features, and they got to come with great quality. So now you can't keep looking for features and lacking quality. You can't keep looking for quality and lacking features. They got to come with both hand in hand. And if they can't bring you both, they don't need to be in your life. If they can't bring you both, you need to tell them sayonara, peace out, adios, amigo, whatever you got to tell them. But if they can't bring you what you need, they do not need to be in your life. Because tonight you're going to stop adding those same people to your life with the same characteristics of the people that you've asked God to remove from you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to keep attracting those same people, and you're going to keep asking God to remove you. And guess what? You're going to be stuck in limbo, because God is doing what he does. They're doing what they do, meaning that they're coming in and out. God is answering your prayer. But the flip side is this: guess what? The common denominator is you. It's just that simple. The common denominator is you. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the common denominator, is right. Because if the common denominator isn't fixed, then guess what? You're going to continue to create that same equation. And what happens is you're going to continue to get the same, for all my math people out there, you're going to continue to have that same equation, and you're going to continue to get the same solution until you change the variable. Good God. Until you change the variable, then you won't get a different solution. Just like when you were in school, when you did algebra, when you did when for all of my algebra, pre-algebra people, you know, when the variable is the letter, the variable is x. Until you're able to figure out what x is, or you figure out what x is, then x is the problem. X is the one that we missing. We know what y is. We know what this number is. We know what the solution is, but we need x. We need to figure out what x is. And in order for you to figure out what x is, you need to subtract one number from one side and add it to the other. You subtract one number from one side and add it to the other. And once you subtract that number, add it to the other, guess what? You'll see what x is. So what we have to do, we have to figure out and solve for x. And right now, x is us. X is you. X is you. Why? Because you don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to continue to keep bringing people in, or you don't know if you want to continue to ask God to remove them. You don't know if you want to continue to allow people to come into your life, or you don't know whether or not you want to keep continuing to ask God. So now we have to figure out what the problem is, and now we solve for x, and x is the problem, and the problem is you. I told you tonight, I've come here to help you tonight. X is the problem. And so in order for us, here it is, in order for us to fix the problem, we have to change the variable. And when we change that variable, meaning that when we change what that variable is, us the variable, when we change who we are, when we change how we look, when we change how we think, when we change how we move, when we change how we maneuver, then guess what? Then the solution changes. And once we see the solution changes, guess what? We're able to move on to the next problem or the next equation. Meaning that once the solution changes, once the variable changes you, here it is. Once the variable you changes, guess what? Then what happens is the relationship that you're now in begins to change because you change. The relationship, without you changing your mind, without you changing your heart, without you changing how you think, without you changing how you maneuver, without you changing what you feel, then guess what? Your relationship will never ever change. Meaning that you'll continue to be the same person when the next person comes into your life. You'll continue to be the same person when they come in. But in order for that thing to change and for it to be fixed, you got to fix yourself. Change your variable. You, the person. Change yourself. Look in the mirror. It's okay to talk to yourself. Look in the mirror. Check yourself. If you're doing wrong, check yourself. Say you're doing wrong. If you're doing right, for those of you that got great relationship, that's perfect. Hey man, hats off to you. Salute to you. But for those of us that are a work in progress, for those of us that know we have to change some things about ourselves, that we're not afraid to look ourselves in the mirror, that we're not afraid to say, I need to shift certain things in my life in order for my life to change, in order for things to work out. I need to shift certain things, and I'm not afraid to do it, or we're not afraid to do it. Guess what? Life is going to be great for us. Because guess what? We're going to continue to learn, we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to not allow certain people with the same characteristics to be added to our life. Because guess what? Once we've added and once we've asked God to remove those things, once we've asked God to get rid of those things, once we've asked God to put those things away, get them on the back burner and get them out of our life, guess what? We have the strength to move on. Why? Because we know who we are. So in order for you to have the strength to move forward in your life, you have to know who you are. In order for you to know and realize who you are, you have to not be afraid to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Listen, that is the time I have tonight. I greatly appreciate you all for your patience being on here tonight with me. I've had some technical difficulties. I've had several error messages telling me that my connection to my Facebook page was a little off, so I'm not sure what that is, but I promise I'm gonna get it fixed for next time. But I thank you for rocking with me tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. For all of you that wasn't able to join, please catch the replay. I promise you, your life will be changed tonight. I want to thank you once again. Please be sure to follow me on all social media platforms here on Facebook as well as Instagram. Also, subscribe to my YouTube page at Reactivate the Moment. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any topics you want to discuss, email me at reactivatethemoment@gmail.com. I appreciate you for tuning in. Listen, I hope to see you next week, same time, same channel, right here on the Win Network at 8 p.m. every Monday, 8 p.m. right here on the Win Network. And I'll see you next week. Until then, have a great evening. Have a great rest of your week. I love you, and there's absolutely, positively nothing you can do about it. I love you. Have a great night. Peace out.